Take two. For all the health workers and all appeal places.
Alright there, and how you doing? Well, it's midday on April the 3rd 2020, and probably this exact moment marks a year to the day that I moved to this area, and today is a day that's definitely stock filled with nostalgia. I did a live stream last night, and somebody during that live stream who admittedly said they'd been drinking was listening to me waffling on and said I'm a very chronocentric person, something like that, which basically means that I'm very mindful and aware of time. Well, that's my flattering way of putting it. One of the things that I've talked about incessantly is me being a very retrospective person and not appreciating where I am in the moment, and 1 year ago today I really did know just where I was, you know. I'd had 2 months away from my daughter, or 2 months away from seeing her regularly, and I was back a few miles from where she, well, you know, she calls this area home as well as where she is with her mum. You know, it isn't a case of there being home and dad's place, you know. She, as she should, treats where I live as home. But it is amazing just how much you can waffle on about something over the years, and people still inform you of the said trait as if it's news to you. Maybe, you know, you got to be charitable and think that people are saying it's news to them, something it's just, you know, pennies just dropping for them. But you know, no offence to that person, they were more than, well, they were drunk and amusing, in all honesty, last night in this live stream. But you know, it is funny how we just aren't, you know, no matter how hard we may insist on certain things and say certain things about ourselves, it doesn't mean people are properly listening. We all take on what's going on around us at a speed that suits us. Everywhere is really beginning to start the transition into spring now. It's so beautiful to see these hedges and trees all coming to life. All the trees over there are coming into canopy. It's just such a uplifting thing, it really is. It's very quiet out and about. I'm just actually doing some shopping for myself and some other people who live locally who can't get out, and yeah, it's quite refreshingly quiet. But it is a shame that we're in this position where we're having to do all these things. Not that nice sort of sense of community that seems to be emerging at the moment, but just the fact that so many people are caught in a position where they just can't go out, you know. That's how it is. It's wise to listen, and there you go. I had literally no idea what life had in store for me on the 3rd of April 2019. The best that I hoped for and the best that I wished for was that my new home would at least be a base to be closer to my daughter, and that's, you know, that's instantly what it was. So my wishes were realised. But what was to follow with regards to one friendship in particular, I could never have imagined such a bountiful treasure trove of beauty was just about to be opened. And not just for me either. I'm so used to in life it going one way and everything. So my selfish nature in the past, you know, just, yeah, that was good. And I realised that other people around me were having a terrible time. Something that I refuse to get involved in these days. I try to be a lot more mindful of the fact that things have got to be good for all. But yeah, the next 5 months that followed were just a treasure trove of beauty, and it all came to a rather sad ending at the end of August. But you know, I don't particularly want to dwell on the fact that that conclusion is there. I want to think about the lightning strike of optimism and beauty that the world offered me on the 3rd of April 2019. I could never have imagined what I was walking into when I first signed that tenancy agreement and walked through the front door. Nothing could ever have prepared me for just how wonderful life would become after being so dark. And there you have it. As I've said many times before, we treat life's lightning strikes as always having a negative connotation to them. You know, save your money for a rainy day. You never know what's around the corner. You know, and it's everybody prepares for the worst case scenarios, but the lightning strikes of life, the positive pregnancy test, the person out of the blue who just takes you under their arm and leads you into a world that you didn't even know existed, the joy of people you've known for years even coming out of the woodwork and being there for you, realising that you're there for other people. The lightning strikes of life can be so wondrous. And the 3rd of April 2019 taught me that it's so hard to let go of wanting to talk about that particular date in my life, because everything that happened, or the optimism that that day birthed, it's something that, along with my daughter's positive influence on my life, it keeps me going, knowing that those lightning strikes of life are there. You never know when they're coming, and they're not always a dark force. You know, lightning strikes are very rare. Generally speaking, you just have wet or sunny days, but then sometimes the weather gets so volatile that there is going to be that single strike out of the blue, and it's going to hit someone, it's going to hit someone's house, and who knows whether it's going to be positive or negative. And when I look back in my life, most of the lightning strikes that have come my way have been complete and utter joy and wonder. One of the greatest realisations of my life is that I'm not a pessimist. Everybody has had a tendency, or people have had a tendency, to tell me that I am. And when I talk like this, and when I think about the joy that life has offered me, I realise, no, I'm very much a realist. But I've had the darkest of shit thrown at me in life, and I still remain here and focused on the now, the here and the now, and hopefully a better and happier future for all of us. If optimism requires a complete betrayal of all my life's experience, I don't want to be called an optimist.